Happy Wednesday. Please excuse my tardiness. I think I'm like, 3 minutes late. Sorry. I had to scramble up this little pup. Still potty training her, so I don't want her running all over the house. Just trying to invite some people. Hope you all are having a very good day. I am. My energy is super duper high. I guess I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about what we're going over today. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, somebody's here. Somebody's here. Who is it? Sherry. Hi, Sherry. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a good day. Getting my notes up here. So this is day 1 of kicking perfectionism's butt. And hi, you're here, Valerie. Yay. I know that I was like, okay, how am I going to, what's my focus going to be on this day 1? And to start, we have to go over what perfectionism actually is. And because here's the thing, you might be thinking, well, I don't really think I'm a perfectionist. Like, I know what it is. Like, it's someone that, has to have everything just so, or they freak out, or, but I'm here to break that myth today and to show you that it actually affects more people than you think. And in fact, I am going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say it. Probably everybody I know has some form. Hey, Christina, has some form, or not form, but some level of perfectionism. And so what I thought I would, hey, Cassie, what I wanted to address today, because I think it's a really big thing right now, that at least it's vocal. It's probably always been a thing, but it's vocal right now, is not enough. Feeling like no matter what you do, no matter what projects you tackle, no matter how much you accomplish in your life, no matter how much you grow, no matter, how loving you are to your children, this feeling comes back to you like it's not enough. Right? So let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Hey, Julie. Does that sound familiar to you? I really want to put the dog down because, she's fine, I guess. So let me know if that's relatable to you. If you feel like you're always striving, you're always trying to get things done, you're always trying to be better. Okay, see, story of your life. So I'm not by myself. So this was very much me, and it probably always will be me to a point. Which means that I will always have some of the issues with perfectionism pop up, but it doesn't mean that they have to defeat me or take me off track or, stumble me. Right? So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. So the not enough feelings and what's the source of them. Okay? So the source of them is actually perfectionism. So see, you're more of a perfectionist than you thought. Okay? So I'm going to give you some, a couple definitions here or about what perfection is. Right? Striving for perfection is an unattainable goal. Okay, so what do we do with that information, right? If it's unattainable, what does that mean for us? Do we just slack off? We never try ever again? We don't grow? We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's obviously not going to be the answer. Okay? All right? What we do is we use this information to shift our perspective. Okay? We use it to shift our perspective and improve our lives. So, nothing I'm telling you today is going to be like, hey, if you do this stuff, you're going to have a perfect life. Okay? Hey, Tracy. I'm not telling you that. That's exactly the opposite of what I'm telling you. But you will have tools and a mindset that is healthy and rooted in truth, okay? So that you can endure, so that you can keep going. Thank you. Yeah, I was going for vibrant. With my blue hair and my bright top. Thank you. So, get a load of this. Now, when I read this quote is from a book I've read several times called The Gifts of Imperfection. And someone gave me this book. They gave it to me and I was kind of like, like when someone gives you a book, you're like, cool. But then you're kind of like, I wasn't searching for this, so I don't even know if I'm going to read it. But I read it. And as I was reading it, I had this, what I can describe as, I felt like I was being wrapped in a warm hug. And it felt so good. I'm just flipping the pages going, oh my gosh. So it's by author Brené Brown. And I'm saying that to give credit where credit is due. Because what I'm about to share with you, just this little definition that she made, really turned my life in a different direction. Okay? So, I'm not, God was in all of it. But I believe that God leads us to people and things that are going to help us on our journey. Especially when we have committed our life to Him and we're like, okay, I want to follow you. I want to do what you want. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to stretch. Then we find things like this, okay? And before I read this book, I remember being like, I don't have time to read. Are you kidding me? And now I find time to read all the time. Yay! Okay, so get a load of this. If this blew my mind, okay? Perfectionism is not the same thing as striving to do your best. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. It's not about healthy achievement and growth. That's not what it is. It's the belief that if we live perfect, look perfect, and act perfect, we can minimize or avoid the pain of blame, judgment, and shame. Okay, so that was kind of like the eye-opener for me. Like, whoa. Like, that is what I'm trying to do. I am trying to avoid pain. I am trying to avoid shame because it doesn't feel good. It's yuck. And like, if I can just be better, if I could just be better than I am now, then I won't have to feel this anymore. Okay? So that's, like, that hit me like, whoa. Yeah, it's a really good definition. Okay? So that was from Brené Brown, so that I quote, and the reason why I read it was because I didn't want to misquote it, okay? Perfectionism is self-destructive. That's what it is. So we tell ourselves too, well, I'm just trying to do the best I can. I'm just trying to be my best, okay? And, I know, because I've said that I've said it my whole life, honestly. And, hey, Laura. So welcome, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it so far. So again, are you feeling like this is something relatable? Maybe this like gnawing feeling inside of you of, oh, I just got to do better. I just got to do better. I just got to do better. Right? Okay, so that is actually perfectionism. Okay, hey, Bonnie. I'm glad you made it. So, difficulty making decisions, okay, for fear that others may not approve of those decisions. That's perfectionism, okay? Perfectionism is actually addictive. It's addictive. So all of these things are destructive. They're destructive cycles. They do not build us up. They tear us down. And we're always left wanting more. We're always feeling unfulfilled. Okay? I could go so many directions on what I just said. This is how I think about our lives on earth. Okay? So while I'm on this earth, I will only be whole. I will only be fulfilled, satisfied through Christ. That's it. Okay? So in myself, I will never reach this stage where I don't have to struggle anymore, where I don't have to battle things anymore, where I don't have to have pain anymore. Yeah, you keep wanting to improve your course. And so here's the thing. It's not to go away from improvement. That's not what we're trying to do. Okay? So it's not about, oh, okay, I guess I should just stay where I am and be complacent and not grow because it kind of hurts to grow. Okay? It's not about that. It's about shifting. Have your focus be you and God. Him directing you, Him growing you, Him strengthening you, and stop focusing on what others may be thinking or approving. You know, are they approving of you? Are they disapproving of you? And just because I thought about it as I was doing my makeup, I thought, okay, I'm going to use this as a cute little example, okay? So this is an example of how perfectionism can play a part in your life in just teeny small ways, right? Now, again, I'm not letting it rule me, and I have to check myself when I'm worrying about what so-and-so's going to think. Okay, let's do a self-check. Hey, God, is this what you want me to do? Cool, doing it, right? Or is this something that's going to, basically what I just said. I don't need to, puppy is chewing on my slipper. Ay. Okay, so taking the focus off of others. There you go, okay? Taking the focus off of others and putting the focus on God. Making that your main everything, all right? But let's go back to the perfectionism. So I was talking about my makeup, right? And as I was doing my makeup, I thought, I bet you Blair's gonna like this because she likes makeup, you know? And I kind of smiled to myself and I thought, but see, I'm not putting it on for her approval. She can either like or not like it, right? But it could have been bad. It could have been like, oh, I have to get this makeup on because so-and-so's not going to approve of anything I say because she doesn't like the way my makeup looks. Okay, so I know that is a very silly example, but it just like, it popped into my head and I thought, that's cute. That's funny. Okay. But it can be the little things all throughout the day. So 6 years ago now, I was in the full throes of, super destructive, very negative self-talk, very negative behavior towards myself 6 years ago. And finally, I cracked. Like, I cracked. I could not do it anymore. And this was why. It was so stupid. Okay? This is what happened. I'm getting ready for church. And I'm having thoughts about, oh, I don't know if I should wear this, though. Because so-and-so might say that. What about, are these earrings too much? I don't know. Second, like little stupid things about my appearance. And the reason why I was so focused on what so-and-so might say or not say to me, the look they might give or not give to me, okay, was because I was trying to avoid the pain of being rejected, okay, of being unwanted, of being unworthy. I was afraid of it. I didn't want it. And so you try to please everybody. And I'm pretty sure back then I had just started teaching the Sunday school class again, and so I had all those opinions in my head. And, oh, well, should I do the class like this? You know, should I do it this format, or should I do it like this? Because so-and-so says they really don't like it like this, and so-and-so says they really like it like that, and it should be like this, you know? And in my brain, I'm just like, I don't know, which one should I do? If I do this one, so-and-so's going to be mad. If I do that one, then this person's going to be mad. Right? So I was flipping out, and I did it all the time. But it was just like my brain just exploded, and I thought, you can't please everybody. You can't do it. It's impossible. There's always someone that's going to be against you. There's always someone that's going to not approve of you. There's always someone that's going to think you're unworthy. Right? So it's like, well, forget it then. I'm not going to try to please all these people anymore. I am going to focus on, you've probably heard this before, my audience of one. What does God want me to do? What method does he want me to use? What is he putting on my heart? Okay? So the reason why I shared that with you was to let you know, yay, good. I'm glad it's perfect timing. See, that's the Holy Spirit. I'm sharing this with you so you know how bad it was, okay? Now, it didn't start to really improve, like in a big fat way, until probably 3 years later. But God was helping me. I was in the Word more. He was, explaining things, revealing things to me that I didn't understand before, and it was great. My focus was on Him. And I was like, I'm not going to focus about what people are going to be thinking about me, whatever. And if they say something mean or if they say something rude to me, I'm just going to smile. And that's about it. I'm just like, okay, I heard you and now it's over. I'm not going to take it to heart because you are not God. Okay? So that's like kind of some of my personal stuff. Now it doesn't end there, all right? But now, today, I can tell, ooh, you're being a perfectionist right now. Okay, all right. And I can shift out of it. I can shift into gratitude. I can shift into alignment with the Holy Spirit because I'm His. I'm God's. And so here's some things. Let's see. Yeah. So perfectionism is about earning approval and acceptance. That's what it's about, in a nutshell. There are so many different things that we could address, different scenarios, but that is what it's about. It's about approval and acceptance. Because we feel that if we are not approved of, if we are not accepted, then we're not worthy. We're not worthy of love. We're not worthy of anything. And that is a lie. Okay? False belief. How many, okay, I want to hear from you guys. I want to see how many of you have this same thing as I do. Now, this might be because I've been a Christian my entire life. I've been raised in the church. I've, listened to sermons and read my Bible and this and that. But here's a false belief that I've had because of all of my upbringing. When something goes wrong, my first thought is, oh, I messed up. I wasn't good enough. Like every time, even still to this day. When I was writing this, something popped into my head that made me go, oh, I guess I wasn't good enough. I was like, oh my gosh, get that out of here. That's ridiculous. Okay, so, how many, raise your hand or comment yes if you think when things go wrong, it's because you weren't good enough. You did something wrong. You didn't do a good enough job. It wasn't enough. Tell me if you relate to that belief. I just want to know. I don't see anyone say anything yet. Okay, so while you're typing that in, yes or no or whatever. I always feel like I'm not good enough too when things go wrong. Yeah. Okay, good. So, yeah, so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's tip number 1 right away. Like I was going to tell you, grab a pen and paper so you can take notes, because I'm going to give you some things that you can do. Okay. Oh, good. It looks like everybody. Okay. So I'm not alone. For a second I was like, no one's saying anything, maybe. That's a thought that pops up out of nowhere. I don't have to go search for it. I don't have to go search for that negative thought that says, oh, you messed up. You didn't do enough. You didn't work hard enough. Fail. Right? I don't even have to look for that. It just goes, boop, pops right into my head. Okay? So, there are several things, several false beliefs, several lies that I have had pop up in my head over my lifetime that I don't have anymore. I don't have them anymore. I cast them out as lies, and I spoke truth over them, and they're gone. They're gone. So yay! Okay? There have been false beliefs, there have been lies that I have gotten out of my head. They have not returned. They have been repatterned with the truth. Okay? And that's what I want to help you do. Why? Because you shouldn't live each day tortured. You are not going to be as effective as a vessel to serve others if you're constantly trashing yourself and beating yourself down. You're just not. You're just not. And, you know, it keeps coming up a lot at church about, you know, love God, love others. Okay? Or, and there's this, oh, I wish I could remember. Is it Matthew? It's like, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. Okay? The emphasis is always on love God and love your neighbor. Okay? And that's great. It's fantastic. But here's the thing. It does say love your neighbor as yourself. So if you are mean to yourself, if you don't treat yourself with the love of God, if you don't receive that love from God, if you don't allow it in and let peace wash over you and his strength and his joy and his mercy and forgiveness, if you don't allow that to flow through you every single day, how are you really going to share it with people? Okay? And that is a thing that I am like so passionate about that I like it heats me up every time. And I feel like that's why I was nervous about today, because I feel like that's a huge message that is not in circulation. And so I am not speaking out like the world and saying, oh, you know, only focus on yourself and, you know, make yourself happy and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. But this is what makes sense to me. Even just using that scripture, this is what makes sense to me. If my sole focus is to please God, one, I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about him and what he likes, right? And I'm going to do that by reading the word, because the word is truth, okay? That's how. Then, because I'm walking with him, because I'm on this journey with him, he will guide me to serve who I need to serve. And I don't have to feel, and I posted on this before, I don't have to feel guilty because I'm not serving like so-and-so. Even though they want to guilt me, you know, and say, oh, why aren't you in this ministry? It's like, well, because God has me doing some other things and they require a lot of my attention and time. And so one of those things is this workshop. This, I shared with some of my Bible study ladies that are on Facebook. If you want to join us, let me know. I'll put you in. We chat every single day. And we go over a chapter a day. And I shared with them, I go live plenty. I've gone live a lot of times since Facebook invented it. But it's usually in a small group setting where it's not broadcasted for the whole world. Today, it's broadcasted for the whole world. And so I was having fear pop up. And I was having to, oh my gosh, well, you just did live yesterday. Oh my gosh, people are going to think this about you. They're going to be like, wow, what's that? Can she just give it a rest already? All these ugly, mean things. But they were designed to pull me off course. They were designed to pull me off course. That's what perfectionism is. Perfectionism and fear are best friends. They're best friends. Okay? So you cannot be a perfectionist without having fear ruling your life. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, look, from my observation skills, and I feel like God that's one of my strengths, is the gift of observation and just seeing things. And through my personal experiences and working through, I think this world is hurting bad. And whether they are saved or not saved, they're hurting because of these lies. And the lies are all designed to keep us off the right path. And so to punch fear in the face and kick perfectionism in the butt, we have to know the truth and we have to live in the truth. And we have to practice the truth every day. You can't just read something and then, never recall it. It has to be applied. Oh my goodness. You just need to be quiet. It's Daddy. Okay. So, sorry. Now I have my dog barking. Okay. So I'm going to give you some, so far, has this been helpful? Have you learned some things or gained some insight on things that it's like, whoa, I didn't even, wow. Just knowing that is helpful. That's what it was for me. Just even knowing, oh my gosh, that is how I'm living. And it hurts. And the whole time we're trying to avoid the hurt and we're hurting ourselves. Yes, Sherry, we hurt ourselves more than others can see. Yep. And so I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I don't still do it. I do. But it is this long compared to a week-long sinkhole, where it's just one negative thought feeds into the next, into the next, into the next, into the next. And then I'm so deep down that it takes me weeks to get out, right? So now I can recognize it and say, whew, oh, get it away from me. I rebuke that thought. That is a lie from Satan, and I'm not going to live in it. Okay? So what I'm going to give you today, so if you didn't get a pen or a paper, I would say get it right now, because I'm going to give you some steps. I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do to start practicing this today to break the cycle of perfectionism, break the destructive cycle, okay? And start living in the truth. And just know that there's always going to be pain. There's always going to be struggle. And that's okay. We're supposed to have it. But avoiding it, now don't go seeking it either. But avoiding it actually makes us so tattered, so weak, so worn out. It's so much hard to come back from. So start today. I'm going to give you this right now, okay? This is the concept of it, and I'm going to give you a little fill in the blank thing that you can do, okay? Cast out the lie. So write it down if you want to write it. Cast out the lie. Live in the truth. Okay, cast out the lies and live in the truth. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, on a daily basis, the way you're going to do that is with healthy self-talk. And some of you are aware of your negative self-talk. Some of you may be aware of it at times of your negative self-talk, but all of us have it. So if you think you don't have it, it's not true. You have it. And so you gotta recognize it. And if you want to connect with me after, I can help you. I can help you get started on that. Like if you don't even know what your negative self-talk is, okay? I'll help you with that. All right, so here we go. This is how you're going to do the mindset shift. This is how you do the mindset shift. Ready? I'm feeling blank. So whatever the feeling is right now, I'm feeling angry right now. And the next part is, and that's okay. Okay, so you can feel that with, I'm feeling sad right now. And that's okay. I'm not done, don't worry. That's just the beginning. I'm feeling anxious right now. And that's okay. All right? I'm feeling hopeless right now. And that's okay. I'm feeling like I'm not enough. And that's okay. I'm feeling unworthy. And that's okay. I'm feeling like a failure. And that's okay. Okay? So start with that. Hopefully you had enough time to write that part down. Now this is the process. This is how it helps. In your mind, when you say, and that's okay, your brains are cool. Our minds are so cool. When you say what you're feeling and you get it out and you say, and that's okay, your mind searches, why is that okay? Right? It's like, why is that okay? Well, here's why it's okay. One, and this is what I found from doing these exercises. This is exactly what happened in my mind. It's temporary. Okay, yeah, that's true. It's totally temporary. I am not going to feel like this for the rest of my life. I'm not going to feel like this every minute of every single day. I'm feeling like this right now, right? And you could even go further and say, and I'm going to remedy that right now by using this exercise, okay? So one, it's temporary. Okay, why is this okay? Two, because I'm human. God didn't create me perfect. He didn't create humans perfect, unfortunately. He didn't. He created us as humans. He created us with weaknesses. He created us with flaws, okay? And by the way, those flaws we can use for growth. So everything that he's given us, everything that he's created us with is for our good, right? Even the bad stuff, it's for our good if we choose to renew our mind in the truth, okay? Shift that mindset. So number one, it's temporary. Number two, I'm human. That's why it's okay. I'm human. I'm not God. I don't have to be perfect, okay? Three, I have healthy habits in place, okay? So you want to make sure you have healthy habits in place, and one of them could be using this exercise. It's simple, but it's easy to remember. I'm feeling like this, and that's okay. Just let it marinate, and that's okay. It's totally okay. And usually by the time I'm done with like, it's okay, I end up saying, I'm doing my best. I am doing my best. I really am. And God knows that. He can see it. No matter if nobody else sees it, he can see it. Okay? So, number one, it's temporary. Number two, I'm human. Number three, I have healthy habits in place. Number four, I will use my struggle to help others. And that's what I'm doing with you right now. In the deep throes of depression, about 3 years ago, like bad. Sometimes it doesn't feel that long ago, and sometimes it does. But at least 3 years ago, I was in this house, and I remember saying to my husband, like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to feel nothing. I'm not excited about anything. I just have no desire to do anything, to think anything, because it's never good enough anyway. So I give up, right? It's just like this. It's just so horrible. And I remember saying, why? Why am I feeling like this? Why do I have to go through this? I don't get it. I'm trying. I am trying to follow you, Jesus. I really am. So why do I have depression? Why? I'm trying with every ounce of me to follow you. So why? And I heard him. And he said, because I want you to help other people. And I was like, okay. like in these sobs, it was this, oh, well, that's actually, oh, okay. I like helping people. So that made it feel a lot better. And I was so grateful that he answered me in that place, because I felt so alone, so far away, even though I didn't understand why. And that's what he told me. And so I believe, now everybody has their own things that God wants to use. Okay. So I'm not saying, I am 100% not saying that you need to be like me. That's not what I want. I want you to seek God. I want you to say, okay, God, you put me here on purpose. I woke up today because you wanted me to wake up. You have things for me to do. Lead the way. And I'll tell you, it's not always fun, but it's exhilarating. A lot of this is in my my first book that hopefully will be published before the end of the year. It's being published, but it's not like out. They're working on, sorry, this is just it just applies too much. This is, I just totally forgot what I was going to say. It's in page design. That's what I was going to say. It's in page design right now. So I think the next thing is cover, and then hopefully we're done. And I can get this book out here. But what I wanted to say about the journey thing is this. It goes back to the pain that we're all trying to avoid. Just accept it. Know that there's going to be pain, and you will be so far ahead of the game. It's not even funny. And it will actually bring you peace, knowing that pain is part of the journey. Pain brings growth. Pain helps people. Feeling those things. So this is what I wanted to tell you. So I write this book. It's called You Don't Have to Be Perfect. And it's about all this and more. And I was so excited because I'm like, this is what God gave me. He knew I was going to write this book when I was born. He knew it. And it's exciting, right? And I always toyed around with, that'd be so cool to write a book. But I didn't really know what I would write it about. I always thought, well, maybe about my life. And then, this is when I was young, like high school. And I was like, who's going to read a book from me? Who am I? I'm not famous. Okay. Anyway, I diverse. So as I went through this process and was just like, wow, this is really living. This is what it feels like to be alive. That's what I have. I have that every day. That's what it feels like to be alive when you cast off the lies and you live in the truth. That's living. Not avoiding things, not hiding, not trying to please so that people aren't mean to you or rude to you or disrespect you. It's not about that. So as I'm on this high and things are going so great and I have like amazing clients and everything's just felt so good. And guess what? It all stopped. It just stopped. And I was like, what happened? And it was just so abrupt. And I kept talking to him, I'm like, what? Is this done now? Are we not doing this anymore? He's like, no, we're done. And I was like, oh, okay. What do I do next? He said nothing. And I was like, hey God, it's the next day. So what are we doing next? He said nothing. And the next day, he said nothing. And the next day, he said nothing. And I was doing pretty good. I was like, no, it's okay. This is the day the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad. I'm just going to keep reading my Bible, and I know God's going to talk to me. Nothing. But finally, during that horribleness of feeling like, wow, this is what it felt like. This is what it felt like. I swam out to the middle of the ocean, right? Because God was like, go. And I was like, okay, God, I'll go. And then, where do I go next? I'm just in the middle of the ocean. I don't even see an island. I just see water. Where do I go? Like, that's literally what it felt like. And he said nothing. So I started writing about it. And it turned into a second book. And I was just working on it again today. And it's called Suburban Wilderness. So hopefully, within the next couple of years, I'll have 2 books. And it'll all be from God and for the purpose of serving others. Like, I want what I'm doing, what I'm sharing, all of that to benefit others. I want it to glorify God. I want it to build up His kingdom. And so I know it's all going to work because it's for God, right? Anyway, so it helped. I wrote this thing and I don't know why I wrote it. It seems out of context. So practice your mindset shift. And tomorrow, I will teach you how to unblock your fears. Like, I'm going to walk you through it, okay? Anxiety, depression, overwhelm, not enough are all products of fear. Okay? That's tomorrow. That's what we're going to go over tomorrow. I'm actually ending right on time. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that this was eye-opening. And I prayed that it would reach those who needed it, that it would, even if, whatever. It's not up to me who it helps, but my prayer is that it will help somebody, or else there's no point. So, if you feel like it was helpful, and you're like, oh my gosh, so-and-so needs to hear this, share it with them. I've made it public, so it should be very easy to share. It should be easy to share. So, or tag your friends or whatever, because I want to get the message out as far as I can, right? So thank you guys for hanging with me for like 45 minutes. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving your time to this workshop, and I hope that all of you will be back tomorrow, maybe even with some friends, and we're going to work on unblocking your fears, because like I said, fear and perfectionism are best friends. So take care, and I will see you tomorrow.